Hello everyone, here's me hoping that you don't hear too much of the mess that is happening downstairs. And I'm sorry about that, I can't do anything about that, but I still wanted to get a stream in today. Because, well, I need a video for next Friday at 10 a.m., so this is the one that I'm gonna get in there. Hello YouTube, because this is going to be a full VOD, so hello YouTube. Let's change the scene now, shall we? Alright, welcome to the playoffs quarterfinals between ROC and Super Hot Crew. This is an interesting match, to say the least. So it is a quarterfinals, which if you actually looked at the 2014 spring or 2013 summer and spring, would be a BO3, but actually it's a best of 5 now. So we have a maximum of 5 games. We have 4 games to go. I already know that, okay? But we're gonna do all 4 games today, right now. I'm gonna try. And the thing that I will do right now on this stream, I'll say it now, the fights, I will not call play-by-play. I mean, I might try, but if I see that I'm way too messy, I'll stop. Okay? I'll try at the beginning, but if I'm way too messy, I will stop and I will focus on the play-by-play, on the color aspect. Okay? I'm still gonna try. I have learned a few more, fortunately not all of them yet, but a few more of the spell names that I forgot. And the main one that I might have needed is Xerath, but other than that, I feel like I'm okay. Oh, there might be one, actually, wait, there might be one that I want to look at before we actually get started. Because I know the composition for the first, okay? So, where is he? Void Stone, Null Sphere, Netherblade, Force Balls, Riftwalk. Okay, Netherblade, Null Sphere, Force Balls. Okay, those are fine. I'm gonna keep them in mind, probably. So there we go. Let's go back to this. So we're 1 minute away, which is why I'm not actually letting things go right now, because I try to go closer to the game. The closest possible to the game. I'll give a few of my notes that I've taken. So, for me, Rocket is a team that's very reliant at that point. It was very reliant on Yankos getting a very good early game. Of course, the stats speak for themselves a bit, at least on that front, because Yankos has had a total of 12 First Blood involvements. 12 First Bloods, not involvement, First Bloods. And 17 First Blood involvements out of 20 First Bloods for ROC, which is very big. Now, the pigs that he did it on is mostly Elise or Elise in. Basically, what he needs is a good early game champion that can snowball early. It might not work all the time, as we can see from the game between ROC and Alliance that happened on week 11, but they might get ahead far enough so that the rest of the team can carry in the rest of the game. What I think for Yankos is that basically he has a trinity of champions that he might get to pick in this. It's going to be Elise, Lee Sin, or Jarvan. Even if it didn't actually pick it yet, I think, or maybe once. Jarvan actually serves the same purpose as the other 2 champions, basically. So that's why I'm counting him in there. ROC also, I think they have a pretty weak bot lane. At least Selver is pretty weak, and he might need a lot of help or band-aids, like band-aid picks. If you don't know what I mean, it's like pigs that can survive situations where most other champions would not. So basically, I'm thinking about Tristana or the new Lucian, which is coming back in the playoffs, which was actually out of week 10 and 11, but he's back for playoffs with his changes, which makes him even stronger in the late game and a terror. But there you go. The focus should be high on those picks. On the other side, for Super Hot Crew, whereas Rocket are reliant on Yankos, I think Super Hot Crew are really reliant on Selfie getting ahead. And not even just getting ahead, having a good game. He is an unreliable guy, to say the least. They need to find constants between him and Impaler. They need to find a bit of more constants. They're on and off in their performance. Sometimes you'll have Selfie going on a tear with like the game with Kassadin basically against SK, where he went 11-2, I think, something like that. Pretty damn good game. But then he can go 0-4 with an Orianna for some reason, and then go back on Ahri, have 5-0, and basically carry the whole game by himself. They need to find constants also with Impaler. He needs to find other picks right now. I'd go back to that Rengar, but we've seen him multiple times on Jarvan also. And I don't remember exactly the picks on the jungle side. I think it's Elise and Jarvan on the first game, but I don't even remember. So there you go. Those are a few of my notes. I didn't actually say everything in there, but there are a few of my notes. A lot of others are going to come in the game, and also, you know, in the pick and ban and things like that. For once, at least, I didn't put everything at the beginning. Alright, so I know the winner of the series, though, okay? I know the score, I know the winner of the series, and I know that there is going to be an amazing semifinals matchup, but not actually that. I don't know if the semifinals was that great, but the matchup would be nice, probably. But we'll see. First, we'll have to go through this quarterfinals between ROCAT and the Super Hot Crew. Super Hot Crew on blue side for the first game, and ROCAT on the red side. So, of course, this is 4.13, so a lot of changes when it comes to the junglers. A lot of junglers got nerfed. Evelyn got nerfed, Lee Sin got nerfed, Elise got nerfed. So basically the big trinity got nerfed, which opens up the rest of the champion pool in the jungle. And will change the style in there, probably. At least when it comes to Worlds, I know that it does change the style. But here we go. So first ban is still going to be that Lee Sin. And on the other side, a Mundo. That is interesting. Yes. Okay, the thing is that, yes, Mimer is set on, I would say, a lot of off-meta champions right now. Okay, look, Shyvana's fine, sure. But things like Mundo right now have really fallen out of flavor. And he's starting to really struggle to get back into there with, like, what I'm thinking is more about the Lulu, you know, mages and Aurelia-like characters, bruiseries, but also that can survive in team fights and be useful on the side. So then we have a Kale and a Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate is much more standard. Will it be Kassadin as a ban? I can tell you no, I already know. But hey, something that you have to keep in mind every time, you know, because Kassadin is still Kassadin. So there you go. But the last ban for Super Hot Crew is going to be that Zilean. Overpowered did play it twice already, the Zilean. And it would have actually been good for their mentality in the game for ROCAT, because they are very, very reliant on having a good early game, as I said. So last ban is going to be Maokai. So basically right now what you did is just taking away the tanks. It's not too bad of a strategy right here. Mimer will probably be forced on something like the Shyvana, but it's just going to be the Kassadin first pick. And it's not just me knowing that is going to be that. It's just logic. It's logical that this is going to be the Kassadin first pick, because, you know, Kassadin is in there. When Kassadin gets through the picks and the bans, he's probably going to be picked. Especially this early on in the playoffs, when people don't know if there are counters or things like this, because Kassadin was supposedly just uncounterable, almost. But we'll see what Roccat will come up with to find something to go against the Kassadin now. Oh, it's just going to be a bot lane response. So it's just going to be the Kog'Maw Morgana as a response in the bot lane. Yes, we did see a Morgana mid lane from Overpower, but I don't think you want that here against the Kassadin and giving him a free early game, especially with Voidstone giving him magic resist. So no, that's not a good thing. Magic damage resistance, by the way, not just magic resistance. It just avoids 15% of magic damage, no matter your MR. But here we go. So what is going to be the response for Super Hot Crew? They could pick their own bot lane right now. Already. Like, they could do it. Just going with a Tristana or Lucian, which is also open. Remember that. Even if, yes, the changes are in, and he has had... So his attack range is lowered and things like this, but... So it's going to be Nami Tristana, which is a pretty good combo. It's very strong Well, actually right now the early game is going to be dominated in the bot lane for Super Hot Crew because Kog'Maw, at least until level 5, will not have the damage to sustain through what Nami and Tristana can offer. But of course that will require at least the rocket jump from Tristana. So that's an Alistar hover for Roccat. And if that is picked, it's going to be played top lane. And of course, so it's not just me saying that. It's also apparently that Zazes did play it in solo queue with Trinity Force Static Shiv. And it's something that he picked up from other places. I'm not going to say where, but this is something that he picked up in other places. And it's something that will be pretty strong come Worlds. And of course the jungler is going to be that Elise. As I said, Jankos has a trinity of champions, you know, it's going to be Elise, Lee Sin, and as I say, probably Jarvan, just because you want that early game champion for Jankos so that he can help you get over your weak early game. And on the other side is just going to be a Shyvana, apparently, and then you need a jungler. You might just go with Jarvan or well, Lee Sin's bad, but you might just go with Jarvan or Rengar. We'll see how this goes. Oh, is he actually going to pick the Renekton? So Renekton would be a bit more of a bully against Alistar, but the thing is, Alistar has Triumphant Roar. Triumphant Roar heal actually does counter what Renekton can do in this. Oh, it's a switch to collect Kha'Zix. So it's going to be a Kha'Zix in there in the jungle. So that's... Super Hot Crew have a high focus in the late game. You can see it, their focus is really high come late game. And that is the mentality that their coach probably wants them to have. Wink, wink. But... I'm sorry, okay? All those references are just because I know who is the coach in Super Hot Crew, and I know his mentality. So yeah. But the Renekton is a bit weird, but he does help you when you transition to that mid to late game. When you have a Kassadin, it's a bit needed as well. But that Alistar top lane will counter a lot of what he can offer, though. Renekton will not have any real kill pressure on an Alistar. And that's just going to be an Orianna to round up the composition. With an Alistar, that's very good. That's very good with an Alistar. You can do the Shockwave combo. You can have a good Shockwave Wombo combo. So, clear strength for both of those compositions. One is much better late game, basically. You have to be careful, though, okay? On either side, you have to be careful. There's a lack of damage late game, though, for Roccat. This is what you can see. They are a duo carry team. When on the other side, you have more of a triple carry composition with the Kha'Zix in there. But the Elise will not be able to carry on her own. Not here. The ratios are not high enough. She doesn't actually go with that much AP anyway. Especially if you go with Spirit of the Ancient Golem, which is the tank item. The tank one. The matchup that I'm going to keep an eye on is going to be that top lane, just because it's an Alistar, you know? You just it's not something that you saw before, you know? An Alistar top, not something you see before. And something that will become commonplace come a bit of time. But also, it's also just that because he's a flex pick, that you actually have him so high on the priority list. Because he can also be played in the ball lane and still have the same resistances thanks to his ultimate Unstoppable Force, giving him those 70% damage reduction. That is the main thing that changed for Alistar. He got changed the damage reduction to always be at 70% on his ultimate. So basically, you only take 30% damage, which is incredible in top lane. Like, you're the tank. You're gonna get in the pack. Well, you're not gonna go tanky, but you're gonna go in the pack, pop that ultimate. Things cannot kill you, even if you go bruiserish or even carry, even carry like. So here we go into the first game between Super Hot Crew and ROC. So this is probably going to be a slow game. We're going to see if there's going to be a lane swap to try and counter what that Alistar can offer in the roams. Because that's also something that you have to keep in mind. Early game, an Alistar can roam. And if there is a lane swap, well, he's going to be unabated to do those roams because what will bot lane do? The Mr. Allies will just farm up. Renekton will just be denied farm, you know, on the other side. By having that lane swap, they're going to deny the farm. And Xaxis on that Alistar is also going to be denied farm, but at least what he can do is try and follow the jungler, mirror him, and, well, not mirror, but follow him, and actually, well, you know, do the thing, and get some roams in, and use that Head of the Pulverize combo to, well, set up things, get some summoners, get a kill maybe, if those summoners are already down, and the dude plays a bit too aggressively. We'll see how it goes. That, to be honest, I don't know. I know the result of the game, but I don't know how the game goes exactly. So it's going to be an interesting one. 3 players staying in there with Celiver, so that it is signaling the lane swap. Oh, the ball lane is in there with Xaxis as well. So this is a lane swap. This is a lane swap. And Super Hot Crew probably see it coming just because of the fact that Mimer stayed in this bush. They probably see it coming. And now, as you can see, Impaler goes down to his red buff. Gonna try and get that one. Oh, he's actually gonna do Raptors? No, he's gonna go straight. So Impaler immediately goes to the enemy blue buff, which is warded, so they know what is going on the side of Roccat. And of course, Super Hot Crew also know. And with that information now, it is just going to be a split map, which means that Mimer will not get anything in this exchange. He's maybe not... I don't even know if he's going to get a farm. Because yes, right now... Okay, so the lane is going to be frozen. He might be able to keep it, but it might just push slowly. But Mimer will just back off. And probably go and follow Impaler now. We'll see what he wants to do. He's waiting, getting a potion extra, I think. And we'll just walk towards that red buff and go help his jungler. Okay. So, as I said, split map. Neither teams are pushing, but... So what you want to do here as Tristana is not pick your explosive shot. You do not want to pick that. If you go with the explosive shot, that will actually be bad for you because you're going to just push the lane on your own just because of your passive on that E. And that wouldn't be feeling too good. So now Xaxis is level 2. I kind of want to see him try something in the mid lane right now. Just try and get a summoner off if you can. You're not going to get anything in the top lane. No one's going to be there. And so now... So there is a ward on that. They know that this blue buff... That this dragon is started. What will be their response? So Cassane... Okay, so they're not jungling the aggro correctly. So the attacks are actually going through. Okay, so finally they actually got it. And now the TP comes in from Roccat and Xaxis. And that's just going to deny them. Just because they took way too much damage. And now there's going to be a TP by Mimer. Just to try and get a few CS. He has those 2. We'll be able to stay in there thanks to the Dorn's shield. Has some extra vision as well. He's not too much at risk of a gank because he knows where the Alistar and the jungler are. So in the mid lane, small CS advantage for now, just a wave. And there's 3 CS standing in there, but the mana is starting to go low. That was a miss on the Null Sphere. Quite bad, actually, to see that from Selfie. So Jankos comes in to help Zazes to push that. Just to try and liberate him, probably. So now the wave is pushing. We'll see if Super Hot Crew are going to be able to freeze it. The cannon goes to Jankos. But we'll see if they're able to freeze it on the side of Super Hot Crew. Rallis still didn't take the explosive shot. Just try and keep the status quo going in that lane. But we'll see. Still only 3 CS difference. Oh, Selfie's going to get cancelled on his back. He uses that blade. Void Blade. So now Zazes comes in actually in the mid lane. We'll see what they can do. Zazes and Jankos coming in with all their CC. Selfie actually very far forward to flash in, and Selfie has to flash away from the headbutt pulverize. And that's a trade of summoners. I think that does benefit Roccat more still, because, well, now you have a lot of pressure put onto, okay, Mimer actually taking a lot of damage, but you have a lot of pressure now put onto that Kassadin, and especially if he misbacks again, that's not going to be too good. They cannot really dive him. He has enough HP to stay there, especially with Impaler coming in behind, with Sing as well. So the support was there. There couldn't be much done in there. Pretty even game for now. No real advantage gained anywhere. Not even a dragon picked up or anything. So, there's this level 6 for Selfie though. So you know the timer. The timer is on. An explosive shot was taken now for Mr. Rallis, as I can see. He has it level 1. He upgraded the quick draw. No, wait, what is the name? I don't remember. Of the Q, I don't remember the name. Rapid Fire. It's Rapid Fire. There you go. Actually got it. So double CS for Zazes, but just 5 to 10. So, you know, Renekton can come back in that. He has Adorn's Blade, which I don't really enjoy seeing here. You're in a situation where you're playing melee versus range. Just go with a Ruby Crystal, maybe. Just get more survivability. The 80 HP that you get from that, and the lifesteal is gonna do nothing for you. It's gonna do nothing. You have no stats, so it's gonna heal for like 2. This is not a good thing. 2 health instead of having that Ruby Crystal, I don't really enjoy that. On every auto, and that's the thing, you're not gonna be able to put that many autos. So, Vander trying to get a bit of extra vision in their side. Having that control of the blue buff will actually deny Selfie that one. Or at least try. Mimer does not see that this ward was placed. He has a hunch though. He does know that something is fishy going on in there because they know the timer on that blue buff. And for now, blue buff from Roccat still hasn't spawned. And you have actually Kissing and Impaler trying to get in there to try and look at that blue buff, but it's going to be already taken. And a lot of damage on that turret. It's going to fall. The turret might fall right here. Yes, okay. First turret for Roccat. That is the first real advantage gained. Because instead of continuing to push, Mr. Ellis has just backed off, took that BF sword. A lot of pressure put onto Selfie. He's doing fine for now still when it comes to the CS. He's still even because while Overpower has more tried to deny him than done anything else. And for now, CS is pretty even. 56 to 56. You have a 10 advantage from Celiver, but that's just because of the back. That's just because of Rallis backing. So this is not really showing anything. The one thing that does show is the damage on the mid turret. Kassadin is getting denied a lot, actually, and he is getting put behind when it comes to, well, the push. If that mid turret falls, it's going to make it a bit easier for him to actually farm, which that means that Roccat should not try and focus the turret. They should just try and get a bit more damage onto him, but not try to hit the turret. Because now, if you take the turret, that's going to make it safer for Selfie to actually get that farm. For a Kassadin, that's not really something you want. Young Cost waiting on that blue buff. They're on a ward. Impaler, Kissing, and Rallies are all three on that ward. That blue buff is just going to be secured. Yeah, it's going to be taken. It is just going to be taken. By Rocket. So that denied both blue buffs for Super Hot Crew. So Selfie is a sad guy right now. He's pretty sad, but he does have that tier. He does go for the tier Roa build with that Sarah's Embrace. I'm gonna make him a terror late game whenever he gets that Rabadons as well. And he is an affiliate of not going with, okay, bit of a trade here, but not going with with boots on Kassadin. Just because of the fact that Riftwalk gives you so much mobility that you don't need the boots. Alright. A slow game, to be honest. You have a small advantage in the jungle, but that's just because of the CS that he got. Okay, now, Unstoppable Will used by Zazis. Bit of a trade, but of course, just because of that ultimate, no damage really thrown onto Zazis. And that's just going to be mid-turret. So mid-turret taken. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for Super Hot Crew. Gonna make it easier for Selfie to farm. If he could have just kept the lane here, that would have been even better if he froze it. But not doing it, that's fine. Most mid laners are not gonna do that. So there we go, another trade, ultimate used by Mimer, but that's not going to do anything. Again, as I said, all the trade is going to be taken back by the Triumphant Roar from Alistar. Triumphant Roar is what is putting him on the map, really, that Alistar. Just the fact that he can sustain so much and also be so tanky. So he already has that Sheen as well, so that gives him an extra 20 AP. So a little bit extra power on that heal as well. And we are not seeing a CS advantage in mid lane, but we are seeing a 10 CS advantage in the jungle and in the bot lane. Top lane is even, and that doesn't really matter anyway. Top lane doesn't really matter right here. Both top laners have TP, so we'll see what will happen here. What might happen is just Rocket get that Drake, because if you see at the mana bar from Selfie, it's already pretty bad. Mimer had to take it back, so that would have been a 4v5 for the first 5 to 10 seconds if they actually tried to go for something here. Rallis was not in position to go and help. He was just trying to push the lane. Super Hot Crew were not trying to contest for that. And so little by little, as long as this game goes like this, Super Hot Crew are going to be feeling okay. You don't want it to be any higher than that, though. It's 2,500 gold as a lead for Rocket. If you let it snowball even more than that, might fall into hard times, especially when it comes to the mid lane. This time the Riftwalk was in time and actually not taking the damage on that command dissonance. Rallis taking a big trade. Not too great, but he does have the ebb and flow from Kasing to try and heal back up. Overpow now is unseen until he gets closer to the top bush, to the river bottom bush, you would say, but the top bush from the lane. I don't really know the name of that bush. Selfie again having to go out. Zazis trying to get for push here. Mimer actually took a big trade, didn't he? And actually having that pickaxe, is he gonna go Last Whisper first? Or is he going to go with a Tiamat? I don't really know why the pickaxe. That's interesting. Moby Boots, purchased by Zazis. It's exactly what you would want right now, you know? Getting those roams, getting that movement speed so that you can get the combo faster and easier. Rod of Ages almost coming in for Selfie. Of course, that's going to be the first item he's going to go with. Still only a BF sword on Tristana. They're going to try and get a bit of damage on that bottom turret. The lead has gone up to 3,000 now for Rocket. And they're not going to be able to get that turret, actually. They're going to need 2 more autos to get that turret. So they're not going to get it. In terms of levels, Selfie is at 10.5, basically. So we are on the clock. Tic-tac. You know it. Oh, Rallis gets caught by that. Ebb and Flow will keep him topped out. Topped up. Impaler coming in. We'll use that W probably. Yep, there you go. The evolved spikes to try and keep the lane out of reach of the turret. Trinity Force for Saliver completed. Rallis does want to go back right now because having only a BF sword will put you in a bad spot when it comes to power. You're going to be in a power discrepancy compared to a Trinity Force. Yeah, there's not much you can do. So the binding does not connect. There's going to be an ultimate used by Kasing, teleport used by Renekton, coming in also on the other side by Zazis, and they're just going to run away. But now Mimer, actually in a bad spot. Dog biting connects onto Selfie, flash in by Vander, and that's going to be first blood for Zazis with the headbutt pulverize combo. Just like that, first blood taken by Rocket. And so it was a play that backfired because... So they were spotted early on enough, and the TP came in not in a great spot, and so it is a Tiamat, by the way. And so that's going to make them almost at 5,000 gold ahead. 4,500 gold ahead for Rocket. The snowball is real, and this time it's not really because of Jankos. It's because of the fact that the lane swap happened, and that really did hinder what Super Hot Crew could do in this game. If you cannot put the Alistar in a position where he cannot have an impact early on, because remember, he did get a flash early. Ooh, flash in actually misses the headbutt. He tried to go for the headbutt on the flash, but does not connect. That was a bit of a fumble by Zazis. But good ward placement by Kasing to spot that one early on and able to go out without having to use your own flash, which is important. Alright, Selfie level 11. We already saw that he was, but it wasn't enough to get away from a Dark Binding full power without having any tenacity. Because that's the problem with not going boots. Right now you're against quadruple AP, so not actually getting that those Mercury, that's not going to make you feel good. That is not going to make you feel good, as well as not having the tenacity because you are against an Elise, a Morgana. Not feeling too good about that. I just think that the boots are kind of needed in this game, even if you're Kassadin, you know, even if you have all your innate movement. It's great, yeah, but it shouldn't be mandatory every time not to go with the boots. Here in this game, it was pretty mandatory to go with the boots. Imperial are going to be spotted in the bot lane. Not much going on, which is why I can talk about boots for a while. There's 25 CS, 30 CS difference in the mid lane. Well, 25 more than anything. And yeah, that's interesting actually. That Overpower was able to get that much CS advantage here. It is against a Kassadin, so it's a melee versus range matchup. Whenever you're going to get the first item, you're going to have the poke to do that. And Overpower will, Selfie will not be able to really do much against you as long as you have mana. Okay, Mimer going to get bound. Vander will just shield himself for the tidal wave, and that's going to be it. And Super Hot Crew, a bit scared to start that Drake. Very scared, actually, to start that Drake. Oh, the headbutt pulverize actually missed, and Selfie will actually get another trade in. Double dash by Mimer. A shockwave used with the unstoppable will, and now Mimer in a bad spot. Will get headbutted without pulverize. So he's just gonna go out. That was interesting. Okay, so he just didn't want to fight that. With your whole team coming in. I don't really understand that one, but okay. So now Rocket gonna start that Drake. They can keep themselves topped up. You're gonna be fine. Void Spikes actually thrown in by Impaler. Gonna jump in. Gonna not get the smite. Actually smited early. And now Impaler in a bad spot will get taken out. Headbutt pulverized by Zazis. Gets him the second kill. And now Renekton actually goes down. Saliver gets traded. And is gonna be Kasing that gets that one. And a double kill for Overpow. Selfie looking to get into that fight, but not able to. Just going to have to use another Riftwalk to get away. And he's on the wrong side of the map. There's 4 people chasing him right now. He's on the wrong side of the map. I'm going to use his teleport. There's no real CC right now to stop him, so he's just going to be able to go away. But that fight was massive for Roccat. This was a 3-for-1. And let's look again at how it went. So Impaler jumps in, going to get pulverized, and then it's going to be a headbutt auto to get the kill. Mimer jumps in, not able to get that Q off. I don't remember the name. Rowless tries to jump and get more damage thrown in before he dies, but he's just going to be taken away by Overpow. And on the side, Selfie cannot get in there. He just is not able to get in the fight. And that is distressing if you are Super Hot Crew, that he's not able to find any possibilities of getting in there. He's getting close to that second item. The tier is not going to be fully stacked yet, though. And looking at all the other items, so we have an Average Blade for Alistar alongside that Trinity Force. So I know that the build is Trinity Force Static Shiv. So that's what he's going to go with. You have a Bilgewater Cutlass, a full Rabadon for Overpow. He's pretty big, let's be honest right now. He is massive. And the fact that Selfie is not going with boots still is not a good thing. As I said, I just want to see that tenacity and that extra magic resist. You could also go with an Abyssal Scepter or a Banshee's Veil. The Banshee's Veil would get off your damage, you know. Your damage wouldn't be as good. And so now it's going to be a bit of sieging from Roccat with Zazis coming in now. A very fast cow with those Moby boots. A very fast cow. And this is just going to be how they do this. So now Roccat are just going to do this for the next 4 minutes until the next Drake spawns. They're just going to keep Super Hot Crew under their turret, get a little bit of chip damage in there. Just so you see, a 1 or 2 auto. Selfie actually jumped in, but actually got cocooned. Will again use the Rift Walk. But that was a lot of damage on the turret. Under half health. But right now we are in an EU ram. This is a very big EU ram. They're really not going into the side lanes. If you look at top lane, there's a lot of CS that is getting lost. And Zazis for some reason stays here. Even though he has a TP, he could always join. He could always join, and you don't need anything with the Bioarcane Barrage that's coming in from Saliver. With the range that he has, he's just going to be able to put all the autos he wants. As long as... Well, the thing is, right now, Super Hot Crew don't have any power to dive on to the team of Roccat. They just can't. They don't have the power to do that. Because if they do, they're just going to get shockwaved. They're going to get an ultimate from Vander as well, the Morgana ultimate. Infernal Chains. And that's just going to be basically the fight. If those two happen and you get caught in them, that's fight. You lose. You lose the fight. Just like that. I almost called it the control. The pink ward is going to be taken away. And those 4 sweepers, they're interesting from Super Hot Crew. I would prefer to not have a sweeper on Mimer, that's for sure. I feel like you're missing vision right now. And there is also no first item completed on that Renekton. Who is next to useless right now? Renekton is pretty close to useless. So Seraph's Embrace completed for Selfie though. I'm not going to say that that's a turning point because that's not giving enough stats, really. But a Rabadon would be that turning point. And of course that level 16 that you are waiting for Kassadin. Always. There we go, Overpow. Always able to catch those waves. 30 CS up still. Oh, Cocoon will connect onto Selfie. Takes a bunch of damage. Will stay alive. Thanks to the Flash and Rift Walk. But has to go back. We're 1 minute away from the Drake, so he's going to be able to come back, but having that flash off is a big thing. So now, they're just going to get the turret. Rocket just walk in, 4 members, and they are scared of no one. It has been traded for a tier 1, but of course tier 2, better than tier 1, going to give you a bit more gold. Next objective is going to be that Drake. Even if there's also the Baron alive and that they could probably take it without risk, Rocket are not going to take that risk, that's for sure. And they're just going to play it even safer. Oh, misses the head, the pulverize. Zazis actually missed the pulverize. Use the headbutt to get closer, but then missed the pulverize. Look at the speed on him, though. Look at him. Look at him go. Mimer, you cannot get away. Zazis is just going to catch up. He just headbutts again without using the pulverize. So, just gets him to go away. But now we have a static Shiv on top of that Alistar, which is going to make him actually pretty big. Look at that damage. That was actually very nice. And that's just going to be a Drake. That is 9,000 gold advantage for Rocket. Again, the headbutt. Pulverizer is going to be used. Unstoppable Will from Zazis. Now everything gets thrown in onto the cow. Still having that ultimate run. Gonna flash out. Dark Binding connects onto Renekton, and this is it. Renekton has no real damage right now. He has a Tiamat, and that doesn't do enough. Same for Kha'Zix. Just a jungle item plus a Hex Drinker will not deal enough damage on a 70% resist Alistar. So, you know. Right now, Alistar is next to unkillable. And he is 2-0-2, having a pretty good game right now, that's for sure. The side lanes have... the solo lanes have really picked up right now. And Celiver, he's just going to be here to mop up the fights, deal his damage from range, and no one's going to be able to jump on him. You have the protection so that even if Kassadin gets onto you, he's not going to kill you. And, I mean, he's not going to deal enough damage to kill you anyway. There's no grievous wounds in there. There's nothing to reliably take down the healing power that you have from that Blade of the Rune King and the heal. So, realistically, you're not going to be threatened. If you are Celiver, you're not threatened at all. And the bad thing also is that the only kill that Super Hot Crew have, it's on Kasing. So that's not too good to see. Everyone else on 0-1-1. This is what you call team synergy. Alright. It's very weird to see the cow attack that quickly. But hey, you do what you must, right? Celiver just going to clear out the vision. Those 2 control wards, pink wards, placed down. The triangle pink ward vision. It's pretty good if you want to see all the wards close to the Baron. And this is just a farming game right now. So the next fight will have to happen around that Baron. And this is why Rocket are setting up for it. Rocket having to be on side duty. Well, for Zazis having to be on side duty. With that static Shiv, he's going to be fine. He's not going to be put at any risk. And Renekton cannot win a trade against him anyway. But now Selfie comes in actually on the bottom. That's going to signal as well for Rocket to try and start the Baron. They are under vision thanks to that that blue ward. I don't know the name exactly for that. Teleport gonna be cancelled. Mimer gonna cancel that teleport because Rocket did see it very early on. Zazis had to back away, had to use that ultimate. So right now it's on cooldown for about 3/4 of that cooldown still, which should be around 60 seconds. But he's not gonna be put at too many risks. Selfie does hesitate to come back onto him. Level 14 right now. But they cannot dive it. That's for sure. They cannot dive it. Selfie going to be putting a lot of damage onto him. But it's not enough to kill him. That's for sure. Overpower comes into the side. Going to scare Selfie off. Blasting one. It's 3 items on that Oriana. Without boots though. Still. Only boots tier 1. But it's very interesting to see that basically what Super Hot Crew are trying to do is catch someone. It's catch the side laner. So catch Zazis right now on that Alistar. But Alistar is very good for staying alive. He's very good at that, isn't he? what he does is deny you any possibilities of killing him. He has that headbutt pulverize. He has the unstoppable will as well to try and negate your damage. And it is negating damage. 70% is nothing to sniff at. Snuff at? Look, the one thing that I don't have is that, okay? Oh, dog biting will not connect. Onto Mimer. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to talk all the time right now, you know. This is why a play-by-play shouldn't be talking all the time. Or a caller as well. They need breaks in the middle, dude. They need breaks. I don't have any water with me as well right now. Anyway. This is just the Baron game. They're setting up for the Baron. Selfie gonna get caught. By the way, whoa, a lot of damage, and he's just gonna die. He's just dead. Yep. Selfie gets caught by the Dark Binding, does not flash out or use Riftwalk, and he just dies. He just dies. That's gonna give ROC a possibility for Baron now. And instead of actually going for the fight here, both Tristana and Renekton are pushing in to try and get a tier 2 turret. A tier 1 and tier 2. Impaler going to try and come into the side. Going to use his ultimate. Try and stealth away. Trying to find out if he can maybe get a steal. He wanted to try and flash in, but he's not going to have the possibility. Baron taken for ROCAT. And actually on the side, Super Hot Crew are trying to get a tier 3. They are not going to be able to get it. Are they going to get it? Yes, they do get it, but now they are in no man's land. A Shockwave gets the kill on Mr. Rollins, and now Mimer has to run away. But you're against the Moby Boots. You're against Moby Boots on that Alistar. He's just going to get caught. Infernal Chains. Infernal. No, it's not Infernal Chains, is it? Soul Shackles connects onto Renekton, and he's just going to be taken down. 1-8 in kills for ROCAT. Baron on top of them. And that's just going to be basically game. They're just going to be able to get closer to the enemy base, push in, and get whatever they want. It was a good trade to try and get that tier 3 turret in the mid lane, but they overstayed, and they paid the ultimate price of their lives. Impaler takes a bit of damage, but the spikes will keep him alive. The voice spikes will keep him good. Topped off. Everyone back alive. So for now, the siege is going to be hindered for ROCAT. They're just probably going to get that Drake. Going to get full control of the enemy jungle if they can. And they're going to do it all over again, you know. Get in there. Get more objectives. Because right now they have had a good focus on objective, which is something that they have not had all season long. If you look at them, they are the second lowest teams when it comes to Dragon Control at 1.96 per game. And in general, they average 6 turrets taken per game. Of course, they didn't win many games. They are 12 wins, 16 losses. But still, it's quite a low number. It means that their games were mostly not in a state where they could ever win most of the time. Oh, Zazes tries to get into Selfie. Not actually going to get him. He's not actually going to get him. There is a Frozen Heart in there for Zazes. So now he is actually going to be extremely tanky as well. And Renekton, Kha'Zix, and Tristana are not going to be able to do any damage to him. And the Kindle Gem also means that even with the magic resist, he's tanky. Because, remember, health is the best defensive stat. It's the best defensive stat. Bar none, because armor only counters 1, and magic resist only counters 1 type, whereas this one counters both of them. And of course, ROCAT gonna brute force their way into the base, getting that inhibitor, and they're just going to look for the end very quickly right now. They're gonna try and get that push on the bot lane. You could also send Zaz's top lane, because you do have that TP on him, but right now he's just staying with the team. He is their main initiation, so main engage. So him staying there makes sense in a way. But in another, you could just try and push in another lane, TP whenever you're needed, whenever there's a need for any sort of initiation. Because right now there's none. There's no need for an initiation. You can just wait out, get a few autos in there, but you don't have to go too fast. Yes, Kassadin is 16, but he is behind by a half item. Especially since he's going with Lich Bane right now as a 4th item instead of going for the raw AP damage that could come in. No, he's going for a Lich Bane, trying to get that damage on the auto, which he will not get often in the fight anyway. Seriously. Okay, Selfie actually gets bound. Ultimate used. The tidal wave is going to be used. Salver is going to be double shielded. Zaza is going to be bubbled, but not going to do anything. And again, they are just going to continue going in. And now you can actually tank it. You can try and tank it if you want. Shockwave going to be used. Mimer getting a lot of damage. Morales is going to be taken down. What an auto. Zaza just assassinates Mr. Hollis. That damage was incredible, and now they're just going to get that inhibitor. There is a wave on the Nexus turrets. 1 taken down, the second also, and that is just going to be the first game. 1-0 for Roccat, and that Alistar top worked wonders. It worked very, very well for them, that's for sure. And now, Roccat are in the dominating position right now, if you're thinking about the best of 5. This was the best of 5 that was supposed to be in Super Hot Crew's favor, but right now it is much more favored towards Roccat with that first win because they have been dominant for sure. So we will skip ahead, get into the second game right away if we can, and that one I have no clue what's going on in it, okay? So there we go. Game 2 between Roccat and the Super Hot Crew. And it was a very interesting one. I mean, that Alistar was very interesting, and of course will be a mainstay for a few months. So, it's nice to see Europe still actually setting the tempo a bit for what the meta will become. I'm kidding, it was actually already something in other places. Whenever the buffs came in 4.12, people were like, wait, you can use that anywhere else, actually. You can use that in the top lane. Jungle Cow is dead. All hail the top cow. Alright. So here we go. We're going to get into Champion Select very soon for that second game. I'm going right in, okay? We're just going to get all 4 done as quickly as we can. We've only been here for 50 minutes, you know. But no other thing that I'm going to be streaming today, by the way. I'm just going to be streaming all of these, and that's going to be it. So Kassadin is going to be banned this time by Super Hot Crew immediately. And on the other side, it's just going to be Twisted Fate, Dr. Mundo. They can go for the same 3 bans, really. Just going with that Maokai, 3rd. Or maybe you can actually try and keep it and take it for yourself. Because Gragas now has been nerfed. He is not as much of a beast. And Selfie looks a bit distraught, doesn't he? That was kind of weird. Okay, Ali's going to be taken out for Roccat. That is one of the picks I said should be taken away, but right now that does let Lee Sin open, which you can abuse. Lee Sin is abusable. You can even go with that Rengar or Kha'Zix, and that would be fine. Jarvan 2 because of the ultimate. Orianna is going to be the last ban for Roccat, so a bit of a difference here. And that does signify that they want to get that Maokai first pick. And Zillion is going to be taken out, so it's just going to be Maokai, isn't it? This should just be Maokai first pick. They let it open exactly for that purpose. So there you go. Maokai first pick for Xaxis again. And after a very good performance in Game 1, we'll see if he can reciprocate it in Game 2. On a different champion that actually serves pretty much the same purpose. He is the same champion, a bit differently, and actually a bit easier to execute, because the Twisted Advance is a point and click. And you don't have to time 2 different spells to get the CC. Will it be Kog'Maw, Morgana as a response on the other side? Will they just do the same thing as what Roccat did? That would be interesting to see. And it's going to be a Rengar. It's going to be the Rengar instead, taken by the Super Hot crew. Interesting take on that. So they value the Morgana over the Kog'Maw. That makes sense. Morgana has been very good in the season, actually having 32 wins for 17 losses. So pretty damn good stats. And on top of that, I do feel like it's probably one of the best picks right now in that bot lane meta. It can pair with a lot of things pretty effectively and counter a lot of what other champions can offer. Nami gets countered by it. Thresh gets countered by it. Braum is the only one that will be okay against it. On the other side, Kog'Maw going to be picked. So Salliver really values that Kog'Maw, even if I think that it's a risky pick for him. Even if I think it's a risky pick. The one that is also kind of risky for Overpower is going to be that Ryze. Especially, yeah, that is pretty peculiar, going over the Ryze that early. So you're gonna get away that Ahri, probably, right now. It's just going to be the Ahri. It's probably just going to be the Ahri. Oh, are they actually going to try and go with the Kayle instead? That would be weird, because I know that Kayle gets played in the support position, but I don't think it actually gets to played in that position. Would be odd. But the Thresh will be picked. The Twitch will be picked. That is very weird. For me, this composition looks a bit too much like something you would see in 4.9 instead of 4.14. They seem to be looking behind instead of coming back. So they're looking at things that they know would work instead of things that can work nowadays. Let's hope it works for them, you know? We'll see how it goes. Jarvan, as I said, the trinity of junglers that Jankos should go with is Jarvan, Elise, Lee Sin. And right now, Lee Sin with his nerfs does fall out of favor, which is good to see, and it's going to be instead the Jarvan, which makes sense, and I'm happy to see that. The Thresh, a very good pick, no matter what. No matter what, it's a good pick. So there you go. On the other side, what is going to be the last pick in this composition? It is the top lane that you're looking for. Or is it going to be a Kayle top? Actually, that might be a Kayle top. I didn't think about this possibility. It might be a Kayle top. Oh, is it going to be a Zed? Zed is risky. So I'm going to explain why Zed is risky. It is a fine pick, but it is risky. So you did have a lack of AD damage, kind of. You don't need more AP damage whenever you have a Kayle that much. Because of the fact that, you know, the fact that it does take down the stats does make it even more potent for one of those to do that damage. But the one thing that is interesting for me is that against you, you have a point-and-click CC. Whenever you're going to use your ultimate, he's just going to CC you. And what are you going to do? I don't really enjoy that too much. Because I feel like it's a counter. Just like that, a counter. So let's hope that they know what they're doing exactly. And that things are going to be fine. I'm sorry, I'm doing something on the side here at the same time as the compositions we're going through. Which one would I favor as a composition? Roccat. I would favor Roccat. Just the Maokai is just way too strong. It's not just the Maokai, but the Maokai is one of those things where you're like,
Oh shit. Yeah, he's damn strong, isn't he? Yes, he is. Maokai is pretty strong. In my opinion, you know. In my opinion, it is pretty strong. Let me get those 3. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, sorry, I'm just, as I said, I'm doing one thing right now. I am doing a thing. Boop, 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 boop. A normal positioning this time. They're probably going to be, this is probably going to be normal. Normal lanes for once. For once, that would be nice, you know. Where are you? What? No, you're not. Stop being a liar. You're lying. Okay. There we go. Alright, we're good with that now. I can do this. Sorry, I had to do a thing. And I still have to do one thing, actually, before I could actually get on with the rest. Oh, actually, look at that. Selver and Vander are actually still going for lane swap, probably. They are on the top side of the map. Interesting to see, again. It's pretty interesting to see. Because I would have expected them not to try something like that. But here they are, going in for another lane swap. I feel like that lane, yes, it would have been a bit difficult, but they could have still won. They could have still probably won the lane. So now Kasing takes a lot of damage, has to flash away. Both flashes, actually, also. Twitch also had to flash away. So they were also looking to counter the lane swap, but it didn't work. It did not work. And now Jankos is just going to steal that red buff with the smite. There you go. Red buff is stolen. Impaler was on his blue and will have to go back down to try and steal his own buff. We will see how this goes. Mimer will come to help. This might be fine. They might be a bit too slow to get in there on the other side. It looks like they are, yes. I'm sorry about my cough, by the way. It's just that I'm talking so much that that's how it is. And, I mean, Jankos didn't even try. He just went for his buff. That makes sense. Xaxis now. In a 2v1, I prefer Xaxis by a long shot. I prefer Xaxis in a 2v1 situation because, well, Xaxis can actually farm from range with his E. And now Selfie taking a bunch of damage will actually get ignited. Will have to flash away, and now Overpower in a bad spot will be taken out. He has no flash. He's gonna. Oh, he has a flash, but he would die anyway because Impaler placed himself pretty correctly. And that is just gonna be first blood for Mimer now. That is a much better start for them. Overpower went a bit too aggressive. Tried to get on the kill onto Selfie. Yes, he was very low and playing a bit too far forward. But he is going to be taken out because Selfie flashed out and he couldn't follow up because he didn't have the damage immediately. Now the Shadow used to try and go out. Living Shadow. Impaler will get the flash out. Kasing gonna take the grab. Defending his jungler. And that's fine. Now, Selver is the one that benefited from all of this. He's on 21 CS against the 6 of Rallies. Only has about 10 here. Misses that one also. Misses that one. Not really good right now. Oh my god, he missed all 3. Yeah, that wasn't too great. I'm gonna take that. That sapling to the face. Gets at least the other out of 4 ranged minions. But that was pretty bad. He could have gotten a bit more than that. But right now, the one that really benefited, as I said, is Selver. He is in a great spot. Having all that CS given to him and the gold that you get from the Drake would not be enough to counter all the gold that he got from the wave. As you can see, he is 100 gold ahead still. He is still 100 gold ahead of his lane opponent, just because of those 20 CS. And now there's a double dagger on Mimer, but he's not really going to be able to use that right now without help. Help is coming though with both Kissing and Impaler. We'll see what they can do. Vander, a bit far forward now, will get hit by the Bola Strike. A jump and a second Bola Strike will be flashed out. Good job, Vander, actually. Very patient, doing it correctly. That wave will be thrown in under turret. No, it won't. No, it won't. They're going to have to come back and actually try to deny the fact that it's frozen right here. If you look bottom side, this is just a one-on-one now, and Zazis is just going to be very happy. He's just going to get free farm. The Twitch is not going to be able to deny him too much, especially since he wants to back right now. And so this is double CS for both top and bot. Not something you see often in a lane swap, because normally, well, both top laners are going to be in a bad spot, and both bot laners are going to be in a greater spots. But right now, on both sides, they're not actually in a good spot. And now Ral is actually coming in towards the top lane. Could have gone with boots and a sword, but instead went with something else. And Impaler is on vision. He does not have the red ward. He has a pink ward though. I don't know why he's not using the pink ward, because right now they shouldn't be playing far up. But wait, what the hell is going on? Why was Vander playing that far up? So they were not thinking that Rallis was coming in, probably. They were probably not thinking that Rallis was coming in, and so they thought that they would have a 3-on-3. But then Rallis showed up, and that was a 4-on-3. And immediately, you don't want to fight that. So Vander just gets caught. The other two have to leave. And now you're going to have a wave just thrown in under turret. And you have a very happy Mimer on 101, which will counter the fact that he's 10 CS down, especially since the first blood was given to him. So he's actually ahead when you're looking at how things are for both of those guys. He's ahead. Jankos has to cover for Celiver, which is the story of his life, really, in this season. Selfie will be given a blue buff, which is peculiar to say the least, but still okay. You know, both Impaler and Selfie don't use mana, so giving him the extra energy to spam his spells a bit more and the extra CDR, that's always nice to have. Impaler spotted on a ward, going towards that red. Now Zazis could come in and, well, basically he would not have a good day with that one, just because of that. Jankos is spotted on that, of course. We'll get into that. Red buff. So lanes have been just mirrored now. You have the top side, what is supposed to be the top side on the bottom, and what is supposed to be the bottom on the top side. Which is weird when you consider the Drake, but is still not here for another minute and a half. So we might see one of the two teams try to push it far, push it back, and then try to get a back off so that they can actually get towards that Drake. And it's going to be ROC that is going to be able to back first for preparing that dragon. Going to be interesting. Yeah, it's just going to be thrown in under turret. Because I think that even Super Hot Crew don't want to keep it in a standard position like this. In a frozen position. Sorry, not standard. In a frozen position. They want to reset it so that ROCAT cannot keep that one in play, I want to say. Overpower given that blue buff now. Mid lane is even, still. Very even. You almost have that Blade of the Rune King for Selfie. I would have preferred another item, but hey. This is fine. Let's remember that we are in 4.13. Brutalizer didn't have the same impact. Overpower taking a bit of a burst. Jankos comes in, uses that Damascene standard, but will not catch Selfie. with the Flag and Drag. Now Impaler coming in blind will actually connect with the Bolo Strike, flashing from Kasing, will connect onto Silver, but you can use the Lantern while you are bounded. That's the thing. Alright, Selfie actually gonna get the kill onto Overpow. I'm sorry, I had a message, I had to look at it. So actually, what I'm gonna do is respond to the message and then come. Alright. So let me go back. So Overpow actually using his ultimate will try and catch Selfie, will bind him, but Overpow will go onto Selfie, gets the double. Okay, so Selfie played that very well. He gets the double shuriken on top of him, will flash in to get an auto, will actually use the shadow that he used for the first one to actually get back, but he does die because of the ignite, and Yankos still being there, of course. This was a good play. And now the Brutalizer is in for Selfie. So what I did say, you know, the Brutalizer, here it is. Here is the Brutalizer. But a good play. Keeps him up over what Overpow can bring right now. Zazis. Zazis and Mimer just exchanging farm. Zazis is a very happy guy right now, you know. As a Maokai right here, you would be very happy. Uses the what is that name again? I don't remember the name of the Q. I know the W, Twisted Advance, but I don't know that one. Selfie used the shadow. Alright, this is positioning for the Drake, and as predicted, ROC are the first one on top of it. Even if right now this is a game that is a bit more Super Hot Crew favored just because of the 2 kills, the 2 extra kills, and the Drake as well. But right now, if Rocket get that Drake, the game's going to be evened out. And with Impaler on the top side of the map, they are giving it away. So this is just going to be an even game right now, with Zazis having the TP back up top. Yep, there you go, he's TPing. Not going to miss any XP. Is going to miss the CS though. And Impaler getting into that jungle, getting a few camps, and getting out. Getting camp actually. Camp and getting out. We might split it in 2 by the way, because okay, we might only do 2 games today because my voice hurts. I have spoke a lot yesterday as well, so you know. I need to up my vocal capacity little by little, you know. Too early for Morales. Those autos are not good. He missed all those CS. He's 30 CS down, and that will not get better. Twitch will not actually get better than the Kog'Maw come late game. He will have a chance, but not too high. And now Impaler comes into that mid lane. Tries to get in there, but will get spotted now. I don't know how he got spotted, but he did, apparently. I don't know if that pink ward spotted him. It might have. Oh, missed 1 CS. Good job, Selfie. Overpowered is going to be able to get all of those. Actually, 2 are stolen by Yankos. But again, we didn't actually see Yankos too much in those games, right? The first game was not really him. He had a few good cocoons, but it was mostly Vander with those dark bindings. And Zazis with the headbutt pulverized combos. Those really hurt what Super Hot Crew could offer. And I was wrong in thinking that they would be able to go through that front line to go to the back line. But no, they couldn't. As long as they fell behind, they could not actually get anywhere. And in this game, it would pretty much be the same. Super Hot Crew have to go ahead in order to have damage to kill things. Rocket don't have to, because they have much better sustained damage. That's the thing. Even if this time, Super Hot Crew sustained damage is okay. That was a good trade by Zazis. Look at that trade. Okay. Will be countered a bit because Mimer does have a heal this time. A more reliable heal. Alright, just the junglers farming still. Madred's Razor. We have a fully completed Spirit of the Elder Lizard for Jarvan, which is something that you see sometimes, but most of the time you would see Ancient Golem. So it's a more offensive way of going at it for Yankos. And Mimer now getting those CS, looking for that Nashor's Tooth. And you have first turret falling for Saliver. He is going to get that fully completed Trinity Force already with the tier 2 boots, probably right now, because he's on 140 CS. He's 50 CS up. Oh, they didn't know. They didn't know that Rallis was there, but they also didn't know that Yankos was there. Now that's 4 people coming in from Super Hot Crew, and that is just too much for them. And now, look at the response on the other side. You have Rocket's bot lane going to try and continue to push, but Mimer does have a TP. So this is a very well done 4-man strike from Super Hot Crew. They actually countered the eventuality that someone would show up from Rocket by bringing more members and not putting them themselves at risk of losing anything else, because, well, the bot lane was wanting to back from Rocket, and so they had to come back to the lane to get the lane pushed back when they saw that 4 people were up top. And when that happened, you still had Mimer with a teleport to try and counter that. So, good plays all around from Super Hot Crew. Premeditated attacks, I think you would say. Just something well thought out. There you go. And so now you have a good lead, a good little advantage for Super Hot Crew. It's only about 1,500, but it is an advantage. It's something. But you do need a bit more, especially against the Maelstrom from Zazis. I think that's the name of the ultimate. It's not the slicing Maelstrom, that one is Kennen. But I think it's still a Maelstrom back then for this one. I don't remember it though. Alright, so we are looking for a bit of extra vision control on the side of Super Hot Crew, because that Drake is spawning in 30 seconds and they kind of want it right now. Getting that Drake would get him over to 2,000 gold lead, which is nice. It's what you would want right now. Zazis is starting to come down, so there might be a TP advantage. Okay, my Selfie gonna get rooted. Overpow actually gonna take the ultimate. That's not too much damage, and Overpow will just get away, and Selfie will have to flash, having used his ultimate. He could have maybe stayed in there for a bit longer using the Blade of the Ruined King, but he might have panicked. He might have panicked a bit. And so with that flash, it's just control of the Drake over to Rocket, and they're just going to take that, and the lead will be back to pretty much even. Again, there's no more lead. Again, just 700 gold, which is not much. It is really not much. And the main problem, the main issue that they are going to run into is that Kog'Maw now. 160 CS, Impaler coming in, actually not using the Bola Strike, and that's a lot of damage onto him. Will come back, will use the W, the Shadow Scream, and will be fine. Zazis, though, comes in, uses the flash, gets the kill on top of him. And that's just going to be a trade. Mid laner for jungler. A trade that you would take. You will take that if you are Super Hot Crew. You need all the gold you can get. All the gold you can get, you're going to need it. So there you go. And that's a Hex Drinker. That's a Hex Drinker for Selfie, who is allergic to boots, apparently. Because once again, that would help him in this game. I don't know, maybe because there's a Twisted Advance and a Rune Prison. from Rise, maybe it would be a nice thing to have. But that's a turret now for ROC, who are even. The game is just straight up even between the two teams. And that is not good. Again, if you are super hot crew, you need to be ahead. You need to be ahead because if you are not, you're going to be lacking that damage. So much lacking damage. So much. Blue buff going to be taken by Selfie, who at least this time has a good CS advantage. You know, he's 30 CS up, but you still have a 40 CS advantage for Celiver, who's going to come back with a full Bilgewater Cutlass. He's pretty strong. Not the strongest in the game right now. I think like that would be Selfie as the strongest player in the game. But you cannot snuff out the damage that Celiver would deal with that percent health damage. You cannot go against that, really. Just Selfie can, because he can go in and out, and it would be very hard for Celiver to protect himself if he's alone. But if he has help, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for even Selfie to get on top of him. Actually, my voice starts to feel better, so maybe I'm going to continue. I'm definitely continuing right now, actually. Whew, alright. 35 CS advantage. He's probably going to be close to that fully completed Morval Mortius. Selfie, I'm talking about. We have 2 Glacial Shrouds on the side of ROC. Vander going to be taken apart by a Debola strike. Another bit of damage, and that's going to be it. Vander goes down, but actually hooks Impaler before dying, and that's going to be a kill and a double for Celiver after more catches come in from the Twisted Advance and the Flag and Drag. And that's a double kill, and that's going to be a setup for Baron. Don't show us a replay right now. So, Bola Strike connects. Vander going to be taking that big burst of damage. And look at that. Rallis flashes out. Kasing is stuck in the pit. Has a flash, but does not use it. And he's just going to be taken out by Twisted Advance. Just going to be rooted. Nothing he can do. And that's going to be a 21-minute Baron. This is massive. This is massive. As an objective right now, this is massive. And because right now, you're in the power spike of super hot crew. So you getting the biggest objective in the game in their high time, that is not good. And you have now a 2-0 Kog'Maw who is going to be a beast. Did you see the damage he dealt already? That was a lot. That was a lot of damage already. So Selfie is level 15. Keep that in mind. Selfie is level 15. Level 16, Selfie is going to be scary. But still, not the scariest thing, that's for sure. And that was 75% damage on that turret. And a pickaxe picked up by Selfie. So he's looking for multiple items at the same time. Well, we'll see how that goes. So they are doing a Fnatic Bush right now. ROC on a Fnatic Bush. Mimer. Oh, Vander actually didn't. Okay, so Smite will be used by Yankos to get that golem. But that was also kind of weird. Because Vander was getting cancelled. His back, and so he autoed. So Mimer was like, wait, what the hell? What's going on? Why is one of the golems going to the other side? So yeah. Yomu's goes Blade by Rallis. So that's a very strong 2-item mid-game power spike right now. But on the other side, you have a late game power spike already for Celiver. All he needs, really, is a Last Whisper and Infinity Edge. First would be the Infinity Edge, but apparently with that longsword, he's going to more go towards the Last Whisper, which is not a bad call, but I feel like there's not too much armor on the other side. So Infinity Edge with that 250% crit might have been the best call, you know. Yes, 250%. Not 225, 250. That's what it was before Season 8. Season 8. Screw you, Season 8. So they are looking for the setup on Drake now, ROC. I like Season 8, but it's also, man, infuriating They are standing on a ward, though. Jankos, Vander, and Silver, all three standing in the ward. And they are all going to go for that Drake. So they are losing a bit of time on their Baron, that's for sure. When I say a bit, I mean a lot of time on their Baron. But hey, that is still a gold gain. They are almost 3,000 gold up. It didn't snowball as much as I would have hoped for them. But at the same time, they were not the one that were supposed to snowball. I still think that they have the best late game composition between the two teams. So there we go, another tier 2 turret taken because, I mean, there was no real response on the side of Super Hot Crew on that one. And they didn't want to defend that tier 2. But on the other side now, ROC. So, okay. So, teleport from Mimer now. There's going to be a fight. Double flag and drag. Massive ultimate. Look at that ultimate plus the damage from... Oh my god. That's a quadra kill. That is a quadra kill. No? Okay, that was a triple kill apparently, but man, the damage was massive. Did you see the damage from the Demacia? What's the name of the Ultimate of Jarvan again? I don't remember the name of the Ultimate of Jarvan, but still, that's game. That is game, and I'm gonna talk about the fight again. We're gonna look at it again because that is game. What a massive, massive fight! It was brilliantly well played. So I'm gonna go through it step by step, okay? So, you have Selfie getting taken down to half. Then you have the teleport from Mimer coming in, and at the same time as this is going on, Jankos is going to jump on both Selfie and Rallis at the same time. Now, this is important, because then you're going to have Kasing and Impaler getting caught in Jankos' ultimate. All of them. And then you have Xaxis on top of all of them with the Twisted Advance. Going to use that ultimate. Going to use it again, so that's going to deal the damage. You're going to have Overpower with all the AoE damage in the world. Look at that burst. And that is just kill after kill after kill for Selver, who cleans up. Does this very well right here. And that is just 4 kills and end of game. Just like that. The end of the game is just taken by ROC. That's end of the game just by all of those, by that play. Just a 4 for 1. Jankos died in that. A 4 for 1 at 25 minutes. Just because they were close to the base. This is just game. Just like that. And so GG. GG, that's 2-0. ROC showing dominance in both of their games, to be honest. Had a pretty good time. So that was the first half. I will stop this stream for now, and next Friday on YouTube, but also tomorrow, if you are watching this on YouTube, normally, on stream, I will put this on the channel for next week. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and set up a bit of a calendar for my videos, maybe a bit. Fridays are going to be the casting streams, the casting practice streams. Friday, there you go. From 2 to 4 games, at least 2, okay? I'm not going to do below 2, to maybe 5 actually. But at least 2 games, okay? And then from Saturday all the way to Thursday, every day, a video of Crusader Kings 3 or Football Manager, depending on how many I have of each. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream, this little practice stream for me. And I'll see you for the next one. There you go. That's it. Bye.